A lot of women think they're healing, but they're actually just managing. I didn't realize the difference until I got sober and God started showing me where I was avoiding real change. So let's talk about it. When I first started my sobriety journey, I didn't immediately see alcohol as a problem. At first, it felt very manageable. A drink on the weekend, maybe out to dinner with friends, nothing too alarming. But over time, something changed, y'all. What started as a weekend thing turned into drinking during the week. And that was the moment I had to stop and be honest with myself. Not about how much I was drinking, but why. Why are you drinking more during the week now? And I had a lot on my plate at the time, managing my business, managing relationships, showing up at work, trying to be everything to everyone, and still trying to hold it together for myself. Emotionally, it felt like I was up and down, back and forth, trying to stay steady, but I felt so stretched at the time. And instead of slowing down and asking myself what was really going on, I started numbing. And so alcohol became a way to manage what I was feeling, not to heal, not to reveal it. I just wanted things to be quiet. And so I started noticing a pattern. Whenever something came up in my relationships, on my job, with my family, any type of discomfort, confusion, truth I didn't really want to face, y'all, I would not deal with it directly. I would look the other way. I would avoid conversations and then I would have a drink so I didn't have to think about it. But everything that was being revealed to me in that season still had to be dealt with. And that's something I want to say clearly because it applies more to than just alcohol. You can't drink it away, you can't eat it away, you cannot work it away. Whatever your thing is, distraction, busyness, relationships, it will still require a decision at some point. And so I had to come to terms with the fact that I wasn't actually healing. I was managing. I was functioning. I was showing up and I wasn't falling apart. But I was also explaining things that I didn't believe in, staying longer than I should have, and avoiding decisions I already knew I needed to make. And so that's when I started asking God different questions because this is where you have to get honest with God. Not about how do I feel better, God, but what's the issue here? Where's the disconnect? What are you asking me to change? And one question in particular during my time with God, he asked me, why are you managing something I've already told you or shown you needs to change? And that question for me changed everything because I think a lot of us already know what needs to change. We just don't follow the clarity with action. And so managing can look like growth. It can look like you're being responsible. It can even look like you're being spiritual and being led by God, but nothing actually changes. And so, how do you move forward when you start seeing this in your own life? And so for me, it started with paying attention to patterns, not how I felt on a good or bad day, but what was actually still repeating. And so what situations kept triggering the same response? What relationships required constant emotional management? I mean, y'all know the ones. And what areas in my life felt like I was managing it, like it was handled, taken care of, but it still felt heavy. And so then I stopped asking myself, is this something that I can tolerate? If nothing changed, could I live like this for another 5 years? And that question quickly will bring you back to clarity because I learned to pause instead of being numb, not to sit in misery, but allowing truth to come to the surface without trying to escape it. And I stopped trying to do it alone. And sobriety wasn't something I accomplished by myself, it was a process. God brought the right people. He brought the right community. He brought the right support. And so transformation didn't come from me trying harder. It came from agreeing with the truth and taking the next right step. And so if you're in a season where God is showing you things that need to change, I want you to hear this clearly. He's not asking you to fix everything all at once, and he's not asking you to do it alone, but he is asking you to stop managing what he has already made clear. And so I want to encourage you to take the next step as he leads you. I'm Chanel, and I help women heal and become whole through sober truth, spiritual clarity, and beauty that transforms within. And if you are in a season where You're headed in that direction. Make sure that you subscribe, stay connected, and until next time, keep showing up beautiful.